In this part, we want to mix basic volumes and surfaces. And we want to see when we added a shape to another, how we can draw it in an isometric perspective. Look closely. When I'm drawing a box in isometric perspective like this, it's important for me that we learn how we can add shapes to our volumes, mix them. When I want to add a shape in this volume, I'm drawing its intersection. And let's see what I mean by intersection. When we mix shapes here, I'll draw this with a pencil so we can grasp it easier. Mix from here, for example, it goes inside and comes out from other side. So what is the intersection here? The common line. We call this a common line. So I'll usually draw this line from memory, so I don't have to draw all of these lines to draw this. If you're an amateur and practicing, you can also do these practices with a pencil. You can also use an eraser, but generally we usually draw this and we don't care if the lines mix with each other. Because later on when we hatch it or color with a marker or added anything to it, these can't be seen anymore. Now I'll cross these two like this, and my shape turned out to be like this. So now I want to add another shape here on the top side, and I'll consider the intersection. Look at this side. It's the part that we can see from intersection, and this is the back that can't be seen. I'll bring the page up and close it and draw it with a 30-degree angle and bring it down like this. They are inside each other completely. It's the same time in this part also. I'll draw the intersection coming out, 30-degree angle, coming vertically down, also 30-degree angle. As you can see, they are completely mixed with each other. As I said before, it doesn't matter if you do these techniques with a rapid or a pencil or automatic pencil. But remember, there is an advantage when you use a rollerball pen, and that's it doesn't allow you to do mistakes. When you're not allowed to do any mistake, you are forced to be more cautious. Means you are more careful. And it helps you to get better faster. I'm hatching with 45-degree angle here, like the fast hatching that I taught you in the previous lesson. So I'm using 45-degree hatching to show the shapes. The hatching could be vertical, or it could be parallel to y-axis, or it could be 45-degree. For the lines behind to not be seen, we are using a marker or doing hatching, so the lines can be seen in each other. So let's check the pages to see how they mix with each other. Let's do this in another way. So if I have a simple shape like this, I want to draw a surface parallel to this, which means another shape next to this one. Look. Like this. Which means we have a surface completely parallel to this one. Now we want to cross a surface from these two. What I'm going to do is draw the intersection like this. So I'll give it a height in the line with Z. Coming up, we'll close it again, moving like this, again 30 degree, and coming down. Look, this shape is entering these two. So one of the ways that we use it like this is that we can cross these two. Don't pay attention to these lines that are crossing each other. I'll do this once with a pencil or a pen for you guys, so you can see it will be lost in exterior shadings. And as you can see, it's the same story with a rollable pencil. You can also use a pencil, so if it's just for the practice, you'll have it easier. It doesn't matter what your pen is made from. The tip of the pen is important, and mine is 9mm. And I'll try to do different shapes in isometric. Let's see what we can get from it. This time I'll make my shape a little taller. It's pale because I'm putting low pressure on the pen, because as much as we go forward, out pressure also need to increase, and I need to have some room to put more pressure. So I'm starting with low pressure. So it's very thin, and I'm giving these volumes some shape. There, I'm putting more pressure on the corners. Look, I'm drawing the intersection. This corner coming down vertically. Coming out. I'll close the surface, going out 30 degree, and going in. So this part is going out from this side. Look closely. Next to this part, I want to add the cut that I've learned, which means I'll continue the line on the side, this line also, and I'll bring it down, showing this part that they are mixing with each other. This part can also be closed and go upward. For it to be seen better, I highlight this part. So it'll happen like this. Now let's work on another part. What I'll do is to come down from this part again, like this, coming out 30 degree, 30 degree. I'll close this part, coming down, moving inside. Now I'll continue it upwards. Look, I made this shallow and I'm going in. So I'm showing them like this. And if you want, you can hatch it with 45 degree angle. I'll do the same and act the same with pen or pencil or anything, which means I'm following a pattern. Highlighting the corners because I want to show it better. If I wanted to, I can change the texture here to make it stand out, which means I'll do a hatching or something similar. So I'll have a different outcome. Like I said, a simple hatching helps to have a different outcome. I'll do the hatching in this angle also. And like this, the material on the side is different. Now I can add a surface next to this one or make this one into a surface. Look, I only need to make this thicker and it will become a surface. I can add this part into a box again. I made a cut. So a simple cut made a shape here into a surface. Now while I do this, I can add another shape behind this. So it's crossing this one. But I don't give too much height to this one. Just a normal height. Like this, 30 degree. And I'll close the top surface and I'm coming down. Again, I'm coming forward on this side, and I'm showing that it's entering the shape. I can close here and shade it. This one is also 45-degree angle. And now I have a different outcome from this. Inside these shallow parts, I can add a shade, because the distance can help it to stand out a bit more. So I'm doing this. In this part, if we increase the pen pressure inside the hole, it can give you a better outcome. This is a technique that I use to give it depth. So we've learned how to mix the stuff to a point here, and again, we'll repeat the same process here. So we can have a different outcome from this in architecture. So I'll have a normal surface again. If I want to do a simple review here, it's like this. I have a normal surface. This is my shape. Whatever you wanted, I told you to draw common lines. You can draw it completely, because I'm drawing with a pencil now. Moving up 4 of them and closing it. Then highlight it from the front, so I'm not seeing the lines behind it. So this is a technique. I did it like this. Again, look, I'll bring 4 corners. The rest need to come out. I'll take it out. Close it. When I connect this line, I'll continue to the bottom more. I'll go back in. Now I'll draw this, and I'll block the view to the back lines. So I'll highlight it. We can do it on different levels, and I do simple hatch here. You can see that I'm doing fast hatching now. It shows itself. We can see the detail that we want here completely. Just like this. Try to practice these shapes. For practicing, an interesting thing that we can do, instead of mixing shapes, we can play with surfaces, meaning we connect surfaces together. So I'm picking up my roll ball pen again, and this time instead of creating a shape, I'll start drawing a surface. A surface is much thinner than other shapes. So I'm drawing my surface like this. I can even change the shape into surfaces. And behind it will become into a shape. And I'll turn this shape into another surface. Here I'll add a shape with a distance. So I'll add the rest of the shape here. Now the thing is, I need to mix these shapes over here. So really easy, I need to be able to create these lines and mix them together. Like this, and it goes that way. Just like that. So I did that just so easily. Now I can make the top of that empty, so it'll turn out like this. And this line can be seen more. Now between these again, I need to be able to insert a shape like this. Turn it, bring it a little down so I can see the distance. Go back up. This line that comes down is the distance between these two. Make it thicker, and it comes down. Understanding these topics might be a little hard, but with a lot of practice you can achieve a good result in this subject. Now I want to create another experience with this with you guys, which means I'll add some more details. So I'll pick up another paper, and I'll start mixing things together. So what it means is that I start with a simple detail. I'll draw a simple box here like this. Next to this box, I'll draw another box with some distance to it, in front of it or a little behind, like this. Next to this one, I'll draw a surface like this. And then slowly I can increase the detail. Look, I'm bringing it down, I'll draw the whole thing like this, and I'll close them. So in some parts, I don't know what to do with the lines yet. I haven't thought of it. And I'm just drawing. I'll draw the intersection between these two lines. From this part to this part, it's connected. It goes inside, it comes out, then we close it. It comes down a little further, and then it goes inside. Look, now this shape makes the rest to look upper. So I'll do the same thing over here again. I'm determining this part to give us an intersection till here, or it can enter the rest of it. But I'll do this till here, and the rest of it will come out from that side. As you can see, they're all connected to each other. And I'll do a simple hatch here to see what will happen. I don't like the backlines to be seen, and will help with some simple hatch. It can help to hide them. A simple thick cut here. It's going inside a bit. I'll add some more detail here. It's the floor, and it goes inside. As you can see, it's turning into a building. So slowly I'll give it a highlight at the places that I need. I can add some black shades in the windows to make it stand out a bit more. Now what I'm going to do, I'll make a surface on the top, the same thing that we did in the last shape. I'll separate this part, bring it down, so it's a shape and a surface together. From the other side I can continue this, so this part will become a surface, and this part a shape, and this part goes inside it. Look, it's separated from each other now. Then the thing that happened like this gives us completely different shape. I have this from here. I'll get the middle, bring it forward, one incline, and one tangential, and from this tangential to the other one, and bring it down, the diameter to turn out like this. Look, I'm mixing all of the information that I have. Continuance of this part comes here. These are the cuts that I've learned to move inside, mixed with the part on the back, so I'm not being too sensitive about it. Give it a hatch, and turn this into a window. Look, we're adding more details like this. Connect this. Like this. So I'm drawing a side now. I can bring the mixing of these shapes into sides, so this shape can be like this, and it goes into the ground. Even here like this. I can even take a part of here to the ground. So what I'll do, I'll take this to the ground. I'll give it a ramp. and some stairs. Connect them. This part is also below. As you can see, I'm using the same simple shapes that I've taught you guys. I'm drawing a building and I'm creating an architectural shape. Maybe this is not our ideal shape, but I'm not being too sensitive about architectural shapes like this. And maybe this just created a good graphic. But this is an exercise that helps you guys after a while to be able to create work with better graphic and get used to drawing like this. After that, when you want to draw a serious architectural exercise, when you are designing something, these simple practices help you guys to have a better design. And this shape mixing will help you guys. So from mixing these simple surfaces and mixing these with a little detail, I made this happen now. Let me add some simple trees from the stuff that I've learned. Some simple trees. I don't usually spend much time on trees and I'll do them very simple. I'll consider a shadow from one side and I'll start highlighting. But on the shadow topic, I explain it much more. I'll consider the shadow coming from one side and this part. It doesn't look good because the stairs kind of start from here and it needs to start from the underneath of this. And this is like this. And this shape got this beneath it. And I'll do the shadow here with an angle like this here to make it stand out more. I'll do the shadows on the bottom also. As you can see, with the smallest detail and very simple shapes, I draw a building. But in an architectural drawing, we need to consider lots of things, but in this part, we need to master the simple things here. So when we want to work, we don't pop into a problem. I'm adding details again. Simple trees without any problem, just to fill this part. As I said, whatever you draw and give it a trunk, it will become a tree. As you can see, I didn't add complicated trees here, but in the future sketches we will draw a lot of details together. But for now, we'll keep it simple. I'll put some green dots on this to make it stand out a bit more. To look different. Look closely. The thick part of the marker needs to be on the left side. Later on, when we talk about markers, I will give you more details. But if you just do some dots here on the green space, it will make the place a bit more alive. Even if we do this on the ground in the green space area, when you draw it, it will show itself. So we are not very sensitive about how we use the marker for now. I can just show what is going on here with some simple dots. Even with these stains, it will show what is going on here. If I use a marker from the markers that I said, like M or Calibra, for doing some stains, especially in stuff like this, just highlighting windows a bit from distance, it's enough for us, which means this is a window over here. If I added some black stains next to these holes, it will become more bolder and more understandable. So I'm doing this, and even for these parts that are going inside each other. even here. If you pay attention with some simple stains without rendering this, I'm getting a pleasant result. Now if on one side with a simple marker, make it a bit darker. Look, I'll consider the left side as the shadow, so I'm highlighting the left side of the building a bit. Using the marker from up to bottom, but it doesn't matter if you use it like this or not. You can use it however you like. It's not our way to say that you can only use it like this, but it's better than the thinner side to be on the left side. And to do it from top to bottom. I'll draw the side lines a bit like this, and I'll add a brown for the material difference. Only like using a Q color marker, number 732. So it can give us the texture that we want and show us the material difference, even without coloring it too much. I present this to you guys. Work with this stuff a bit more so we can do more samples together and have a better outcome from this. For humans, you can do just like a stain and a shadow next to it. But in the next chapters, I will teach figures completely to you guys. And this stuff make your sketch to look more alive.